Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Normal here, and in this video let's talk about the Poco X2. So Poco X2 was announced in Feb 2020. The first week of Feb we had this Poco X2 launched in India for 15,999, that's 16,000 rupees in India, and one of the first smartphones to come with 120Hz refresh rate below the 20,000 price segment. It also was the first smartphone with the Sony IMX686 sensor below the 20,000 price segment. It came with a 27 watt fast charging, MIUI 11 for Poco, and really good design and build quality. Now this was the re-entry of Poco after the first launch of Poco F1 back in 2018. So how good is the device right now? This has been launched almost 4 months back. Now the price has been increased from 15,999 to 17,500 rupees. That's almost 1,500 increase. Most probably because of the GST increase happened last couple of months. Now how good is the device now, and is it really the worthy smartphone to buy below the 20,000 price segment in India? So that's what we are going to do. So we have been using this device for quite a long time, in fact 4 months as we said before. Now we have tried this device on multiple occasions with software updates, when we did the camera reviews, the camera comparisons, the speed test. So we have tested this device on a regular basis, and what we feel about this device after 4 months, that's what we are going to do in this video. So first let's have a look at the design and build quality. Now one of the things about the Poco X2 was it is slightly larger display, or it has a larger footprint, because you can see that it's a really big device in terms of the design aspect, but it's a well built device, and it's slightly heavier side, but still it's manageable. You can see that the design is kind of unique. You have this pattern around the camera. It's not actually a projection, it's just a pattern, but there is a projection for the camera, and it has a pretty good neat design, the curved edges, and the colors also looks really good. And it's again one of the first smartphones in this price segment to come with the side mounted fingerprint scanner. And you can also see that the punch hole camera, it's a dual punch hole camera. The front panel design is also pretty good. You have less bezels on all the sides except for the bottom. Again for this price segment the design was pretty good. Now build quality, again it's top notch. It's made of metal and glass, so again really feels nice. Now we have used this device for the entire 4 months without any sort of case. Although it did come with a case, we have not used the case, and you can see that there is no scratches whatsoever. And we have used this for intensive testing, for camera comparison, so speed test, and a whole lot of testing we have done. And you can see that we are at no point we have used a case, and still the build quality remains really good. So it's a well built phone. But having said that, if it falls down, it's obviously will break because it's glass. So that is different thing, but having used that there is no scratches on either the display or the back panel, and this has Gorilla Glass protection. Now moving on to the display. So this is one of the highlights of the Poco X2. Even though it comes with an IPS LCD panel, it is one of the first smartphones below the 20,000 price segment to sport a 120Hz refresh rate. Now 120Hz refresh rate, does it matter? For normal users it may not matter, but if you're a person who wants the best experience, obviously 120Hz matter, and this is actually very smooth in terms of the usage. But then do you notice, actually that might be a subjective thing, because unless you actually use the 120Hz refresh rate, you may not know what exactly is 120Hz. So even in the videos will not give a great idea about how good the 120Hz refresh rate is. But again, it may not be a deal breaker when you're buying device, but still it improves the experience. And the display is definitely one of the good things about this device. It's a well built display. Even though it's an IPS LCD panel, the viewing angles are pretty good, the brightness levels are also pretty good, and it has Gorilla Glass protection as well, and along with that it has 120Hz refresh rate. So again, display is a strong point for the Poco X2. Now next is the software. So this device comes with a MIUI for Poco. Now if you go to the software aspect, you can see that this device comes with About Phone. So you can see that it's Poco X2 MIUI Global 11.0.7 with Android 10, and we get up to 8 gigs of RAM on this device and 256 gigabyte storage. Now MIUI, as we all know, is a really good UI in terms of the features being offered. So one of the issues with MIUI has been ads. So here also you can see some of the default pre-installed apps pushing notifications. It may not be ads as such, but still it's kind of annoying. So we have seen that even in the Poco X2 as well. So apart from that, the software experience looks pretty good. You get an app drawer as well. So generally Xiaomi smartphones do not come with app drawer, but the MIUI for Poco has this app drawer, and it's a pretty good UI actually in terms of grouping of apps. You can see that we have some options to group apps as well. So this is something which is quite good, and the software experience is very good, because when we did the speed test comparison, we mentioned that the RAM management is something which is really good on the Poco X2, and unlike the Redmi smartphones or the Xiaomi Note series, the MIUI for Poco has been really good in terms of optimization. So that's another good thing about the Poco X2. Now talking about the performance side, so this device comes with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 730G, and the 730G, as we all know, it's a really good device in terms of processor, in terms of performance. So it's from the 700 series, and 730G is again a really powerful chipset, and even for gaming it definitely does a pretty good job. You get really nice experience with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 730G, and there was no heating issues, and the overall experience playing games was quite smooth on the Poco X2. So we don't have any sort of issues here in terms of the gaming experience. Now the fingerprint scanner is mounted on the side panel, and again it's one of the fastest fingerprint scanner. It definitely does a really good job, and you can also see that the face unlock also delivers pretty good results. So overall in terms of the performance side, it's a really well built device. Now talking about the cameras, so that's one of the most important aspects. So most of us want to have the best experience in terms of the camera. So we have a 64 megapixel primary camera on this device. This is the Sony IMX686 sensor. We have an ultra wide angle camera, macro sensor, and a depth sensor. Now there is a 2 megapixel macro sensor which delivers really good images. Now the 64 megapixel Sony IMX686 sensor is definitely one of the best camera sensors we have seen, and it delivers really great image quality, and for a sub 20k price segment this is really good quality. So we have done a camera review of Poco X2 and found it to be really good in terms of the camera experience. One of the best camera smartphones below the 20,000 price segment, without doubt. Now the selfie camera is also pretty good. It has a 20 megapixel selfie camera. It's a dual selfie camera which delivers really good results. So overall, if you're talking about the cameras, probably in our opinion it is the best camera smartphone below the 20,000 price segment, and this is probably the best you can get at this price segment. So that's the camera experience. Now finally talking about the battery. So the phone has a 4500 mAh capacity battery with 27 watt fast charging. Now fast charger takes around slightly above 1 hour, around less than 70 minutes to charge the battery from 0 to 100%, which is again pretty good. Now battery performance is kind of mixed. With 120 Hz turned on, many people are saying that there is a battery drain issue. In fact, we didn't notice on our unit, but that battery drain is one of the issues of Poco X2. So in case you're feeling there is a battery drain issue, you can always go to 60 Hz, and we are pretty sure that company is working on fixing this issue. So this issue has been there for quite some time, so probably there might be a fix coming soon. So that is, other than that, the battery performance is pretty good. You can get like 5-6 hours on an average easily on this device, which is again pretty good for the 4500 mAh capacity battery. So apart from the battery drain, we don't see any sort of issues on the Poco X2. So now summing up, how good is the Poco X2 for 17,500 rupees? So that's the new pricing. Now if you look at the competition, almost all of the devices have increased the pricing. Now Poco X2, what are the good things about the Poco X2? So Poco X2 has really good display, good design, good build quality, good software experience, great performance, excellent cameras, and there is 27 watt fast charging as well. Now the cons. There are hardly any cons on this device except for the battery drain issue, which can be easily fixed with software updates. Apart from that, probably a hybrid slot can be set as a con, but again not a major con. Other than that, it's probably one of the best smartphones you can buy below the 20,000 price segment. And if you're looking for a smartphone below the 20,000 price segment, without doubt the Poco X2 is the leader here. So that's the Poco X2 after 4 months. So we have been extremely satisfied with what Poco X2 has offered in this price segment. So that's a detailed review of the Poco X2 after 4 months of usage. So hope this video was useful. Do hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.